What's up everybody and welcome to Hoist Talk. Today we're going to be talking about two modifications that I have recently put on my car and if they were worth the money or not. Alright, so let's get stuck straight into it. Now for those of you who have been following me for a while, you will know that I have owned my Supra for 3 years now, purchased it from new, and it was completely stock standard. The first, round of aero upgrades that I carried out to my car were from Verus engineering, including the hood vent and the carbon fiber canards from Verus engineering. And I guess as we started leading up to World Time Attack, I noticed my temperatures were rising. And temperatures on the track rising was nothing new, but what we found interesting was that they were rising as the speed was rising. So you would think that the faster you're going, the more airflow you're getting, the cooler the car should run. But instead we were finding that the faster we were going, the more the temperature was building up. And after discussions with Dal Malone, my race engineer, we decided or agreed that it was probably a venting issue where basically the air was getting rammed into the engine bay due to the high speed, about 240 kilometers an hour, but it had nowhere to go. So we started looking for a replacement hood vent, and the 777 option looks pretty good, the GT4 style hood vent. Once I received the hood vent, it was packaged really nicely. It had the template, it had all the double-sided tape we need. It came time for installation, and ideally what should have happened is it should have sat a little bit higher onto the hood. But because we already had the Verus engineering vent in place, we just had to work with the hole that was already there and enlarge it. So placement is not ideal at the moment, because half of the venting is just sitting on top of the radiator support. But as you'll see now with this data analysis, we did gain a result. Data is up in front of us, so bear with me because I am looking at this for the first time, or almost for the first time, just like you are. And it's very hard to find two sessions that are similar, especially with ambient. So I have managed to dig something up. This was from the 12th of March, so quite early in the year, where the ambient was 27 degrees Celsius, kind of similar to what it was on Saturday evening, but the car would have been running considerably less power because we were running on 98 at about 360 kilowatts at the hubs instead of 440 on E50. And we also had the fueling issues. So in this particular session, and I'm going to be looking at 2 laps consecutively, so the car doesn't have time to cool down. The session started off, well, the lap started off at an ambient of 27 degrees Celsius. The first lap, coolant was 92 degrees and oil was 109 degrees. The second lap began the lap, which I would say would be the start-finish line for the new lap, at 105 and 115 degrees Celsius. And by the end of the session, oil reached a maximum of 120 degrees Celsius and the coolant reached a maximum of 105 degrees Celsius. So remember these numbers, 105 and 120. Let's have a look at Saturday. So let's put temp. So we have ambient, coolant, and oil. Remove RPM, and then select 2 laps in a row. Let's see what we find. So 25 degrees and 25.5 degrees ambient. The lap started at 86 and 105. The second lap started at 101 and 112. And it reached a peak of 105 and 117. So a slight drop in oil temp, despite it being a much hotter day and despite the fact that I was sitting in the grid for a long time with the air conditioning running in a very humid day. Take of that what you want to take of it. This is the data we have. Now I do have evidence from both of these vents that the car is overheating, unfortunately. So if we go back to the first session on Saturday, where I think I was the only person to go out on the track from, well, one of the very few people to go out because it was just too hot. The oil temp did reach 126 degrees Celsius, which is quite crazy. I didn't know it reached that hot, but it explains why the car was going so slow. In saying that, I did see similar temperatures with the Verus vent. So, you know, we are limited with the cooling capacity, I guess, but perhaps the bigger vent allows for a bigger radiator at the front, or perhaps an oil cooler. In terms of an item itself, it was incredibly well packaged. It took forever to come through, but let's just leave that there. I'm sure 777 have their reasons why it took so long to come. But installation was fairly straightforward, even for a Dumbo like me. And despite it being mounted, I would say a little bit too far forward. So most of the vent is only covering the radiator support. It's not even covering the right area. We still had a major improvement in cooling. So in terms of hood vent, Supra GT4 style hood vent, 10 out of 10. Fitment was good. The template was a little bit off, but it didn't stop it from adhering properly, and everything was okay in that space. Which now moves us to the next problem, or the next part. Online, these Canards looked amazing. They looked like a piece of work, they looked huge, they looked massive, they looked incredibly promising. And when I received them, other than the fact that it was missing any double-sided tape or templates, and according to 777, it was because they were rushing to get it out for us, even though it took forever to come, they were incredibly flimsy. I would not have purchased these if I knew how flimsy they were. And again, take it as constructive criticism. It just, to me, was appallingly poorly built. And by poorly built, let's talk about the issues I had. So when installing the Canards from day one, I snapped one of them off. So I snapped the end plate, clean off one of them, which to me, the glue failed straight away. Ever since then, I have had to continuously glue these Canards. At the lightest touch, they would simply fall apart. And to the point of doing a video today for IGL coatings, I walked past that one down there right here only a few hours ago, and I touched it very lightly with my leg, and it snapped, as you can see right now. Oh, shit. So simply walking past it, I accidentally touched it and it broke. This is what I've been facing with these the whole time I have owned them. I have had to literally re-glue all the ends and basically re-glue the whole thing, all 4 pieces, all the time. Complete rubbish product. For me, these Canards compared to Verus Engineering, which were much better built, Verus Engineering was double-sided taped on for 2 years, never fell off, never had an issue, did not even chip, where these ones, I put them on, I had to glue 3 of the 4 Canards. The one Canard that I didn't glue disintegrated onto the racetrack, and I contacted 777 Racing, let them know my concerns before the track day, and they basically responded, well, yeah, we know that there's a problem with them and you purchased a prototype, which, as you can see in this video, is not mentioned on their website, and nobody told us it was a prototype. So I guess now I'm stuck with these flimsy Canards that, whether they're functional or not, who knows, but they're falling apart, which is incredibly disappointing. Now, 777 did send me a replacement Canard, a replacement faulty Canard for the one that broke on the track. So thank you very much for that. However, I'm now stuck with these that I will forever be gluing unless I take it to somebody like Sydney Composites to reinforce. So hood vent, massive tick, Canards, massive cross. Will I ever trust 777 again? I don't know. They have been nice to deal with. They have been responsive to deal with. but they just don't give me any assurance that they're a company that I can trust. Now, in Australia, this is misleading and deceptive conduct, and you're entitled for a refund. In America, who knows how the rules work? But hey, I'm in Australia, they're in America, I can't do nothing. So again, don't take this as an attack, 777, take it as feedback from somebody who genuinely loves your products. They look amazing, and I'm sure they work amazing, but you guys got to really update your website to not deceive people into buying crap that doesn't work and falls apart. So that is my, my honest opinion about these upgrades. Do I recommend people get them in America or around the world? At your own risk. Am I happy with them? Bonnet vent, yes. Canards, no. Can I take the canards off? No, because I already drilled my bumper to fit them in, so I'm stuck with them until they somehow replace them for me. And to be honest, for the price that I paid, I'm not going to pay that price again. So it is what it is. I might just have to get Greg from Sydney Composites to try to fix them up. And I know that he always has something in the works that's probably going to cost me a liver. And I'm probably not going to buy it because I can't keep giving my liver away for car parts when I have 2 kids to feed and a mortgage to pay. So that's the short video today. I hope you enjoyed the data review for the temperature. Please share, please subscribe, please like. Let me know if you like these videos. I'm going to continue doing review videos on my particular car and the particular modifications I do. This is not a mod review channel. This is a come in, let's have a talk about everything underneath my hoist and talk about what I'm doing to my own car, my own garage, and my own sim rig. So I'll leave you with the information and take out of it what you want. I hope it saves some of you some heartache that I went through. Thank you for watching.